The history was that the first generation of DAOs, they were having already good work, like most of them, some of them have working protocol or something, and then they were added kind of DAO structure on top of that. So they were like, hey, we build the products in centralized way. Like Vitalik Buterin first like kind of invented Ethereum and then put a DAO on top of it, not like put a DAO to invent Ethereum. And so you need to make the invention first. It is very hard to invent by community, but to govern already existing invention, that's fine. In terms of like how a traditional company would, traditionally formed company would do a DAO, like what kind of parts of DAO playbook can they use? So on capital raise, I don't think there is half measures. You either are going towards NASDAQ or you're going towards FTX, Binance, Coinbase, and Uniswap. You either want your end game to be in traditional equity or in token equity. So you either like do the full switch or not. So if you do the full switch, you just grant tokens to your existing investor base, team, and whatnot, and or promises of future tokens through token warrants. And you say, hey, we made the change. We're gonna be a token traded company. In terms of the growth, that's fairly straightforward. You can create a DAO that actually acts as your kind of advanced loyalty program or customer engagement program. So what you do, you create a DAO, you give NFT-based membership to your top customers or prospective customers and other supporters and advisors. You might sell NFTs as, passes to your future next releases. A lot of people will do like a NFT gated test flight or NFT gated kind of beta program for a new product. And you then give them some governance rights. So you say, hey, you can collectively decide some parts of our product, maybe some design choices and namings and things like that. And then you might direct a percentage of revenue to the community directed treasury. Another good idea, if you are a creator economy company like YouTube or TikTok, you can have a DAO-shaped creator fund. So you can say, hey, community, we know we have the money. We want to give money to our best creators who produce like good videos on our platform or something. And let's community decide which creators we want to direct most money to, so that we sponsor not just the most clickbaity content, but the most valuable, most, uplifting content on the platform. So we don't want to like, TikTok doesn't want to be an editor of TikTok network or YouTube or whatnot. So you can delegate certain editorial control and creator fund distribution control to your community-led governance.
Yeah.
So
can I ask you a question on top of that right there? Like if creating a grant pool or a grant fund that is voted on by the community, I think is a great idea for like a DAO. I don't want to say tactic. I'd probably call that what's
a play.
The right word?
It's a play from a playbook.
A play from a playbook, yeah. So creating this creator fund is a great DAO playbook. Is a great DAO play. Now, is that okay if those funds are still coming from like a centralized source? Like,
absolutely.
You have
absolutely.
TikTok.
No, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
They go to the TikTok bank, and then the TikTok bank says, all right, we're taking 5% monthly, and we're going to deposit into this DAO, and then the community can vote with that. Like, does that still follow this new DAO
you are not
formation?
trying to impress anyone. No one sets the rules. Like every DAO-shaped project decides for themselves, and everyone decides for themselves whether they would call themselves a DAO or not. There is no oversight board. There is no one you need to get approvals from. Another thing is that there are two types of, like, even if we're talking community governed kind of treasury or kind of community-led spending, there are two sub-models. One is called on-chain execution and off-chain. So on-chain execution is that you have members through NFTs or token. You have the community wallet, and in the smart contract, it is written exactly to the last detail, the voting system, including not just how people vote, but also the quorum rights, like how many people need to vote to make a valid vote and things like that. And then people vote by signing with their cryptographic kind of signatures and saying, hey, I own this NFT. This NFT is part of this thing. I vote on this proposal. And proposal is to send money from our community wallet A to like recipient wallet B. And if enough people send that to the smart contract, and the smart contract validates the signature, the current ownership status, and that they sign the vote for exactly the same proposal, blah, blah, blah. And then if the smart contract receives enough votes, like according to the vote system, it automatically disperses money from wallet A to wallet B. So that's called on-chain governance. The off-chain governance is that people vote, you collect the votes, they all signed and whatnot, and you see the vote passes, and then you call Johnny and say, hey, Johnny, we've heard like the community vote for this. Can you please send the money from A to B to the grant recipient? So that's kind of human in the loop off-chain execution. And a lot of DAOs these days, they start with off-chain execution. It's a little easier. It's like extra security step. There is a chance that, off-chain executioner of the will of the community will, say, oh, that was like a technicality, I will not proceed. But on the other side, maybe the system was hacked and someone, and then you'll see like, we don't know this wallet, we don't know why the community voted for this. We would like clarifications. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. And, when you said everybody decides for themselves, like you don't have to impress anyone. I think what I see a lot of times as I'm on crypto Twitter and following a lot of, maybe it's influencers in the space or entrepreneurs, builders, artists, and collectors, I feel like a lot of people lean towards decentralize everything, like 100% decentralization. Yep. And if it's not that, then it's not, we don't want it. And what I hear from you is you're saying, we need to think more broadly about how and when to implement decentralization, because 100% of the playbook doesn't need to be incorporated in every use case. You're listening to the Unstoppable Podcast, the go-to place for everyone to learn about the latest innovations in Web3, NFTs, and the decentralized web. Welcome to the metaverse.